and welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing to you live from the National News studios here at Rupavahini. We're ready to bring you the top stories here at home and around the world. I'm Charita Minapurarachi.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifah Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
The President says people have been suffered by the pledges given by the politicians without proper vision on economy. There will be ample stocks of imported eggs for the festive season. The President's secretary says behavior of some unscrupulous media misled the society. Artificial intelligence related to information technology will be introduced to the students of grade 8 from the 19th of this month. The US grants $300 million military aid to Ukraine.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with the top story. President Ranil Wickremesinghe underscored the consequences of political promises made without a comprehensive understanding of the country's economy, highlighting the resulting hardships faced by the people.
In a departure from such approaches, the President emphasized the importance of facing reality and working collectively towards a positive future for the nation. The President made these remarks during his presence in a convivial gathering organized by the United Youth Union titled Future of the Youth, held yesterday at Tapraban Entertainment. Addressing the audience, President Wickremesinghe stressed the imperative of transitioning swiftly to an export-oriented economy as a key aspect of economic development. The event saw the attendance of numerous young individuals representing diverse sectors who directly posed questions to the President. In return, President Wickremesinghe offered constructive responses to their inquiries and engaged in friendly interactions. Responding to a query of the current increase in the price of mobile phones coupled with rising internet service charges has posed challenges for many individuals, and what measures have been implemented to enhance the digital literacy of youth in response to these challenges. President Wickremesinghe said that the collapse of our country's economy can largely be attributed to the unsustainable practice of providing everything for free. This approach ultimately burdens someone else, leading to economic instability. In Sri Lanka, we adopted a policy of extensive free relief, even restoring to printing money when faced with lack of income. This reckless strategy made it impossible to honor our foreign debts, resulting in a severe economic crisis. The President said that as a responsible government, we understand that strengthening the economy is paramount to ensuring the well-being of our people. He also said that we are committed to implementing measures aimed at creating an economy that fosters self-sufficiency and financial resilience. The President also added that while it may be tempting to make promises of free services such as data, doing so would only exacerbate our economic challenges. Instead, our pledge is to focus on building a robust economy that empowers individuals to afford essential services and goods. Providing everything for free may lead to disruptions. Responding to a query if there are individuals seeking to leverage their talents for business endeavors without being a burden to the government, what avenues exist to provide contribution for them, President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that in addressing the needs of self-employed entrepreneurs, particularly amidst economic challenges, careful consideration is given to avoid exacerbating financial instability. To support this vital sector, bank loans are being allocated based on the priorities of self-employed individuals. The President added that recognizing the importance of tourism-related self-employment, efforts are underway to prioritize this area given the promising growth of the tourism industry in the country.
දැන් ඒකත් මම නැවැත්තුව අවුරුද්දකට මේ අවුරුද්ද අවසන් වෙනකන් ඒකට අත ගහන්න එපා කියලා මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ විසඳනකන් මම හිතන්නේ ස්වයං රැකියා ගැන අපිට ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම 25 තමයි ස්වයං රැකියා ගැන බලන්න තියෙන්නේ. ඒ දැනට ඒ අවස්ථාවේ සංචාරක ව්‍යාපාරය හැම ස්වයං රැකියාව වලට යෙදෙන්නේ.
Responding to a query of athletes who have encountered nutritional challenges, the steps government has taken to address this issue, President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that the Ministry of Sports has initiated relief efforts to address the nutritional needs of athletes. Plans are underway to implement more comprehensive and organized strategies to enhance athletes' nutrition in the future. It is imperative to start addressing athletes' nutritional requirements from a young age, with a focus on athletes as young as 8 years old. Private institutions are encouraged to contribute to improving the nutritional status of school athletes. The President added that furthermore, a program has been devised to provide athletes with necessary medical advice as well as the provision of sports attire. In countries where sports have reached commercial levels, private entities play a significant role in supporting athletes directly. He also said that Sri Lanka aims to develop its sports sector to a commercial level in the upcoming decade, with the government committed to providing necessary support for this transformation. In recognition of the presence of the President, advisor to the United Youth Union, Newmal Pereira, presented a commemorative gift to the President. Chairman of Lanka SATA, Pasandeyapa Abewardana, says that there are adequate stocks of imported eggs in the SATA outlets to fulfill the needs of consumers during the festive season.
And meanwhile, poultry farm owners have pledged to supply stocks of chicken during the season without any shortage. Chairman of Lanka SATA, Pasandeyapa Abewardana, said that imported eggs are available for consumers at all Lanka SATA outlets without a limit. An egg will be sold at 43 rupees. This price will not be changed until the 13th of next month. Canteens, food companies and other relevant industries will be provided with ample stocks during this period. Imported eggs can easily be identified with a red color seal. On the other hand, imported eggs are only available at Lanka SATA outlets. In addition, price of 400-gram packets of milk powder has been reduced by 135 rupees. Accordingly, the concessionary name price is 935 rupees.
අනිකුත් නිෂ්පාදන බේකරි නිෂ්පාදන වගේ ද්‍රව්‍යات අපිට අඩු කර ගැනීමේ හැකියාව තියෙන නිසා ඊට අමතරව අපි ලංකා සතොස ග්‍රෑම් 400 කිරිපිටි අපි රුපියල් 135කින් අඩු කරලා තියෙනවා වෙළඳ සැල් වලින් රුපියල් 935ක මිලකට මේ වෙනකොට වෙළඳ පොලේ 1060ට තියෙන කිරිපිටි ලංකා සතොස කිරිපිටි ලබා ගැනීමේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා. ආනයනික බිත්තරේ අඳුනා ගැනීම පහසුයි. සීල් එකක් ගහලා තියෙනවා රතු පාට. එතකොට යම් හේකින් වෙන කඩේක විකිනෙන්න ඒ බිත්තර තියෙන විදියක් නැහැ. මොකද අද වෙනකොට රාජ්‍ය වාණිජ නීතිගත සංස්ථාව ලංකා සතොසට පමණයි ආනයනික බිත්තර නිකුත් කරන්නේ. ඒතර මම ඉල්ලීමක් කරනවා 43ට ගන්න තියෙද්දි වෙනත් කඩේකින් 44ටවත් ගන්න එපා.
A discussion was held at the Ministry of Agriculture yesterday under the patronage of Minister Mahinda Amaravira. Major suppliers of the poultry farming industry, farmers and officials of the Animal Husbandry Department were present at this meeting. The Minister instructed them to provide ample stocks of chicken to consumers during the Sinhala and Tamil New Year period. The farmers and suppliers assured the Minister that they would provide chicken at 1,150 rupees per kilo during this period throughout the island.
The Meteorology Department requests the public not to expose infants, elderly people and patients with chronic diseases to direct sunlight these days. Meanwhile, State Minister of Defence Pramita Bandara Thennakon stated that special program has been implemented to trace culprits who set fire to forests. Director General of Meteorology Department Atula Karnanayaka said that this excessive heat condition may increase from the 5th to the 15th of April. After the 15th of April, there may be thunder showers in the latter part of the day. State Minister of Defence Pramita Bandara Thennakon said that it has been noticed that there is an increase of erupting wildfires in many areas due to dry weather. The members of the armed forces are ready to help in controlling these fires. It has also been identified that some persons set fire to forest areas and bush areas with the aim of hunting wild animals. Some set fire to the forest for fun. People must be vigilant over such incidents to control them.
කැලෑ ඇතුළට පිවිසෙන පිරිස් ජනතාවගේ සමහර ක්‍රියාකාරකම් නිසාත් මෙම තත්ත්වය ඇති වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
The wildfire spread in the Maragala Mountain Reserve in Munaragala for over 3 days has been completely doused. This fire has been destroyed over 60 acres of land in the forest reserve. It is suspected that a person has set fire to this forest and the fires rapidly spread due to prevailing dry weather and heavy winds. This Maragala Forest Reserve is a water resource for many families in the Munaragala area and a high-sensitive ecosystem. Meanwhile, a fire broke out yesterday at the Poravagala Sightseeing Centre maintained by the Bandaravilla Pradesh Sabha. About 5 acres extent of land has been destroyed by the fire. Although staff of the sightseeing centre had attempted to douse the fire, it spread rapidly due to prevailing heavy winds. The Presidential Media Division launched the Kaleidoscope 2024 screen media for Gen Z program at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday, chaired by Secretary to the President, Saman Ekanayaka.
This initiative aims to equip school students with practical knowledge and experience in various media platforms. The program will feature workshops led by an advisory board comprising representatives from the Presidential Secretariat, Ministry of Education, Presidential Media Division, public and private media entities, academics and media experts. For its inaugural phase, 158 students from 31 schools with active media units have been selected. The program is sponsored by Unilever Lanka, Slit Educational Institute, Lanka IOC, and Mahabali Center. Participants, including students and teachers, expressed gratitude for the valuable opportunity during this event. The Media President Secretary emphasized the importance of media literacy for school children, highlighting the concerns about the current media landscape, which often presents biased opinions. He urged students to actively engage with media production and education to maximize its benefits. Director General of the President's Media Division, Dhanushka Ramanayaka, said that becoming an efficient communicator is a unique achievement that provides great help to the relevant media institution and the society. Media system in Sri Lanka should also be developed, giving space for the communicators to serve the society without weaknesses. The aim of this project is to create proper and conductive communicators for the society. Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Vasantha Pereira, said that in contemporary discussions, we often hear about the lack of cooperation and creativity among new employees in both the private and public sectors. She said that they seem confident by their academic credentials, unable to transcend beyond the mere degree certificates. Hence, there is a pressing need for a supplementary programs like this one. Today, we are requiring our generations of children who think critically and collaborate effectively, rather than slowly relying on theoretical knowledge. She added that without the ability to think critically, collaborate or innovate, the knowledge acquired by children may not be effectively integrated into the society. Secretary to the President, Saman Ekanayaka, said that the majority of media organizations in Sri Lanka tend to convey their subjective opinions to the populace, potentially leading to misinformation. Media entities often operate according to their own bias and preferences. Failing to comprehend these dynamics may result in misguided decisions. Therefore, the essence of the cause lies in grasping the rationale. Our aim is today to impart this essential knowledge to children, enable them to decipher the behavior and motivations of media organizations. He also said that we must exclusively consume the narrative presented by the media. This prompts us to scrutinize the news articles in newspapers and discern whether we should unquestioningly embrace their assertions.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that allowances paid to development officers in the divisional secretariats will be increased with the aim of achieving the development targets. The Prime Minister further said that all Gram and Niladhari vacancies will also be filled by the end of next month. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that after a discussion with the President, a decision has been taken to increase the allowances to sub-development officers in districts and divisional secretariats. The President is keen on providing IT and vocational training to students who have completed school education. All local government bodies can provide required basic facilities and resources to the relevant divisional secretary to achieve this target.
වැඩපිළිවෙලට අවතීර්ණ වීමට අවශ්‍ය මූල්‍ය පහසුකම් සහ ඒ අවශ්‍ය දැනුම ඇති වෘත්තිකයන් ලබාගෙන අපේ දරුවන් විශේෂ දැනුමකට පරිවර්තනය කිරීමේ ඉලක්කය සපුරන්න.
The Premier made these comments at a ceremony held to declare open the new building at the Mundalama Divisional Secretariat in Puttalam. The Prime Minister also visited the Navadankulama Primary School and the St. Mary's College in Chilau and donated books to the libraries in these two schools.
Measures have been taken to hold an international film festival in Colombo with the aim of exposing Sri Lankan film industry to international levels. This film festival will be held from the 8th to the 14th of July this year. This has been organized in lapse of several years. A discussion in this regard was held with the participation of veterans of film industry, academics and artists of today's and Ministry of Mass Media. Minister Dr. Bandulu Gunawardena and Secretary to the Ministry Anusha Palpiter were present at this discussion. Minister Dr. Bantulu Gunawardena said that Sri Lanka is in difficulty to spend lavishly for an international cinema festival at this moment. However, the country spends the financial resources of the National Film Corporation with the aim of attracting foreign exchange and opportunities of earning foreign investments for the country. Chairman of the National Film Corporation, Deepal Chandraratna, said that an international film festival was held in Sri Lanka for the last time in 2014 and therefore this event is to be organized in a grand manner. Minister Harin Fernando says that attention has been focused to prepare leisure homes in the island targeting foreigners.
He points out that elderly citizens from many countries have applied to Sri Lanka to get health services in their retiring age. Minister Harin Fernando made these remarks at a ceremony held in the BMICH, Colombo yesterday to introduce a mobile dental clinic. One of the leading dental service provider, Dantaja Institute, has introduced this bus with 2 dental chairs, and this is the first luxury mobile dental service initiated in Sri Lanka.
One of the new things that we are trying to promote is retirement homes into Sri Lanka, because the colder weather people would love to come and stay in Sri Lanka. So we've got few investors who have put up villas for retirement homes, and that's a niche market, but a market where we will determine the price. The price point could be even will be decided by us, or even they will have to vote for it, or even go on a auction scheme for those rooms, because that much of potential is in for retirement homes as well. So that's similar to the dental tourism as well, and I think this will give you loads of opportunity. And every road show we will sign up with you. We will have one of your stalls to promote dental tourism with Sri Lanka Tourism. Chalaka Gajabao is our promotional bureau chairman. He's here. We will discuss this, and we will be able to get into an MOU with you and many others who are in this industry. We welcome you all to come up with something innovative, and I think Sri Lanka could identify ourselves as one of the key dental countries which is affordable, and it's a beautiful place for them to visit, get their stuffing their teeth done, and then go back happily after enjoying the hospitality of Sri Lanka.
Special training exercises on marine surveillance started at the Ratmalana Air Force Base yesterday. The 3-day exercises has been jointly organized by the US Defense Department, US Embassy in Sri Lanka and the Sri Lanka Air Force. Senior Advisor on National Defence Sagala Ratnayaka, US Ambassador Julie Chung, Navy Commander Vice Admiral Priyantha Pereira and Air Force Commander Air Marshal Udeni Rajapaksha and several top officials inspected the training exercise. Through this move, special attention will be focused on strengthening the security along the Sri Lanka's coastal belt. The aim of this training program to provide US support to Sri Lanka military forces in promoting a more secured and prosperous Indo-Pacific region, protection of Sri Lankan marine resources, preventing illegal smuggling and monitoring exclusive economic zones.
Minister of Education Dr. Susil Premadanta says that artificial intelligence allied to the subject of information technology will be introduced for school students over grade 8 from the 19th of this month. This new subject will be introduced to 17 selected schools at the first stage. Minister of Education Dr. Susil Premadanta said that the curriculum of information technology over grade 8 will be amended from the 19th of this month. As a pilot project, artificial intelligence will be included in the information technology subject in selected 17 schools. The Microsoft company has come forward to train our teachers in this regard. 100 digitalized training centers will be set up in 100 educational zones island-wide. The minister made these remarks participating at the centenary celebrations at the Girls' High School in Mount Lavinia yesterday. The Philatelic Bureau issued a special stamp and a first-day cover to mark the centenary. This event has been organized under the guidance of Principal Sulochini Hapuarachi. Our Kotmale correspondent says that the Rajamani water stream received or believed to be constructed by Prince Tutugamanu is now on the threat of decay due to plastic waste.
Villagers in these areas point out that local tourists who come to visit this place are responsible for this matter. The Koltmale area is considered as a place where Prince Duthukamunu took refuge prior to his war against King Elara. This water fountain has been developed by the prince as a palace of shower bath. Large crowds of local people daily visit the area and bath in this fountain. The villagers complain that the visitors dispose garbage and plastic waste in the area, causing damage to the place of archaeological value.
Veteran journalist Asoka Tilakaratne passed away today. He was 82 years at the time of his demise. He was suffering due to some health for some time and having treatment at the Kalubovila Teaching Hospital at the time of his demise. He was born in Wadue area and had school education in the Colombo Ananda College. Later, he joined Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation in 1967 as an announcer. He was able to capture a large number of listeners by presenting Madhura Sanga, Bharata Giravaya and many other programs from the Sinhala commercial service of the SLBC. Ashoka Tilakaratne was better known as a newsreader who presented news both in Sinhala and English medium. Later, he joined the Lakhanda Radio as a program manager since its initiation. That's it on local stories. We'll be back with news overseas.
Mr. Maru Makkavillani.
Kamak නෑ සර්. ඒත් අපේම දරුවනේ.
ටීචර් යනවද?
උදාර
We now move on to news overseas. Biden administration has announced another package of military aid to Ukraine worth up to $300 million.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan announced this package in a briefing at the White House yesterday. Announcing the military aid package, U.S. National Security Advisor said that when Russian troops advance and its guns fire, Ukraine does not have enough ammunition to fire back. That's costing terrain, it's costing lives, and it's costing the United States and the NATO alliance, surveillance said. President Joe Biden later expressed a similar sentiment, saying that package is not nearly enough and Congress needs to pass additional funding. The Pentagon has an approximately $4 billion in drawdown authorities left to send to Ukraine weapons and equipment pulled directly from Defense Department stocks. But the Pentagon was reluctant to use that funding because there was no replenishment money left to refill the U.S. inventories. According to a second senior defense official, the Pentagon was provided with an additional $300 million to use as replenishment funding to backfill the aid sent to Kyiv. Without the support and weapons supplied from the US, Ukraine has lost ground in the war with Russia, outnumbered and outgunned by an adversary that has fully shifted its economy to a wartime footing.
United States President Joe Biden and his predecessor Donald Trump are set for an election rematch in November after clinching their respective parties' nominations. Primary elections in Georgia, Mississippi and Washington on Tuesday handed Biden the Democratic nomination and Trump the nod from the Republican Party. Biden, who had no serious competition in his party, reached the required 1,968 delegate threshold to be nominated, while Trump, whose last rival Nikki Haley withdrew from the race last week, also passed the mark of 1,215 delegates needed. Both will be officially nominated at their party's conventions in August and July, respectively. The widely expected results set the first U.S. presidential election rematch in nearly 70 years, as well as a contest between two candidates that opinion polls suggest that many voters do not want. At 81, Biden is already the oldest president in U.S. history, while the 77-year-old Trump is facing 91 felony counts in 4 criminal cases and several other alleged crimes. Their rematch will almost certainly deepen the country's political and cultural divides over the 8-month grind that lies ahead until the 5th of November elections.
Moving to Japan, Space One's Cairo rocket burst into flames shortly after lift-off in western Japan, leaving a large plume of smoke in the air and sent frail debris flying near the launch pad. Tokyo-based startup Space One is aiming to become the first private Japanese firm to put a satellite into orbit. A small Japanese 18 meters long rocket exploded shortly after launch in a blow to Tokyo-based startup Space One's attempt to become the first local company to put a satellite into orbit. Flames and burning debris were seen falling into the surrounding mountain slopes as sprinklers began spraying water. The flight was interrupted after the launch from the mountainous Kinel Peninsula in western Japan and was investigating the situation according to Space One. There was no immediate indication of what caused the explosion or whether there were any injuries.
The first ODI between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh is now being played at Sahar Ahmad Chowdhury Cricket Stadium in Chattogram.
Bangladesh is chasing a target of 256 runs and there were 223 runs for 4 wickets and 39 overs short while ago. Sri Lanka won the toss and decided to bat first. Sri Lanka scored 255 runs all out in 48.5 overs. Janith Liyanage scored the third half century with 67 runs and captain Kusal Bendis scored 59 runs, recording his 29th half century. In bowling, Tanizman Hassan, Taskin Ahmad and Shariful Islam claimed 3 wickets each.
Shot, he has got! He went for a swing. Impressive guy. Does a short delivery picked up. Oh, man.
With that single, he loves playing.
Sri Lanka Cricket has agreed to promote cricket in Japan.
Sri Lanka Cricket stated that accordingly, relevant memorandum of understanding has already been signed with Japan Cricket Association. The MOU was signed at the Sri Lanka Cricket Institute between its chairman Shammi Silva and Chief Executive of Japanese Cricket Association Naoki Alex. Under this agreement, Sri Lanka Cricket will provide cricket coaches, trainers and ground staff to Japan. Japanese cricketers will also be allowed to come to Sri Lanka and have further training opportunities. Sri Lanka Cricket will also send Sri Lankan teams to T20 tournaments organized in Japan. Further, Japanese players will have the opportunity to take part in training sessions with the team of the LPL tournament.
Prima Stella Set Yogurt.
And that's it on tonight's news. Register at the very same time. I'm Charita signing off with Sharifa. Stay safe.
Good night.